Hi everybody, welcome to week 5 of Child Development 180. This week we're going to focus in on cognitive development. As a reminder, there is the full lecture that you'll see here posted in the week 5 or unit 5 module in the course. So when you have some time, make sure you click through the regular lecture and take some time to reflect on what you know and what you've learned, and also integrate some of your own experience and expertise. In addition, you want to make sure that you complete your assigned reading, which is also posted in the course. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to highlight some of the main points here. I won't talk through every single bullet in these voiceovers. I just get the main points here. So obviously we're focusing in on school-age children in our course. So thinking about cognitive development, we know that children can selectively focus on tasks. Children can reason in logical steps to solve problems, and I'm sure you've experienced some of that in your own work with children. Children can learn strategies for increasing memory, and language development develops rapidly and is used to communicate ideas, interact with others, and develop competencies. So lots happening in this age. So this week we're focusing in on some developmental theory. So when you have some time, make sure you not only do your assigned reading, but take a little time, and I'd encourage you to get into the library and do some more reading on the theories. You can also just kind of do a basic Google search and pull theory from there, and spend some time on it, because I think you'll find it's helpful not just in this course but also in your courses to follow. In addition, it will help you with your work, so you'll see a practical application of your theory to your work with school-age children. So good stuff. Make sure you do it when you have some time. So Piaget believed that cognitive development follows predictable stages. So this is a theory that includes stages, and that each person proceeds through the stages at his or her own rate. So there are 4 stages in this theory, and it ranges from birth to 15 years of age. So here are the 4 stages here. I won't read them all to you, but hint, hint, you might want to remember some of these for your quiz. Here's some key elements from Piaget's theory. Children construct their own knowledge. Development of intelligence is the result of progressing through the stages. Children progress through stages at different rates. Children construct their own knowledge. Development of intelligence is the result of progressing through the stages, and children progress through the stages at different rates. Oops, sorry, that was said twice. I'll have to edit that. All right, so here's Piaget theory to the practice. So provide many different materials for children to explore. And so if you're in an after-school program or you are a camp counselor, you want to give children lots of different materials and spaces to explore. You want to allow plenty of time for free exploration. And I know this gets tough, especially we're on tight timelines for things, especially if you're in an after-school program. You probably can relate to this, trying to move from one thing to another. But as much as you can, allow for some time for children to explore, and not just following something that's prescribed to them. And then provide experiences that allow children to solve their own problems and make decisions. So this is some good role play stuff that you can do with children as you have time. In addition, this will just come naturally. So some important things to remember. The next theory that we're going to talk about is Vygotsky, Lev Vygotsky. So probably when you hear this name, you might think of some things like the zone of proximal development, etc. Hint, hint, you'll want to pull some of these main elements for your quiz. So in thinking about Vygotsky's theory, here are a few things that you want to remember. So children's participation in authentic cultural activities is important. Adults instruct children in acquiring the knowledge and skills that are valued in a particular culture. The social environment is the necessary scaffold or support that moves children to the next intellectual level. So that's thinking about zone of proximal development and scaffolding. Scaffolding comes from a skilled peer or adult, so that's something that's really important to remember. Sometimes we always think that this scaffolding or the support needs to come from an adult, but indeed it can come from a peer who's maybe a little more skilled or maybe who has a little more knowledge in a particular area. Language plays a crucial role in the development of cognitive abilities. And of course, the zone of proximal development, also referred to as ZPD, is the difference between what one can do with help and what one can do independently. And then we'll talk about more of this in our discussion forum, but we really want to make sure that children are not just challenged, but they're challenged appropriately. So we want children to feel challenged so that they can learn and grow, but we don't want it to get to a point where they're feeling frustrated, because that's usually when we say children get too frustrated and give up and not want to participate in a particular activity, whether it be something outdoors or it's a learning, something inside, like a learning activity. So sometimes that balance is hard to find, but it's really important that we know the children well and we're paying attention to some of those cues. All right, and with that, we will go ahead and wrap up. I just wanted to hit some of the main points. Again, when you have some time, make sure that you do some reading on your theory. You'll be asked some of these questions in your quiz this week, and have fun with it. Talk to y'all soon.